Hello everyone, my name is Emerson and this is the CloudKnowledgeTips channel. My main goal is to share my cloud knowledge with you. So, if you are working or would like to work with cloud technology, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification icon to receive alert about my new videos. If you'd like to know more about me or my cloud journey, below is my LinkedIn, feel free to send me a message. It will be my pleasure to help you during your cloud journey. Let's go to the content. Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about Microsoft Fabric. So to start, what is Microsoft Fabric? Microsoft Fabric is a solution as a service, which means that you don't need to install anything in your computer. Everything is going to work, everything is going to run on your browser. The only thing that you need is just a license, and then you can start to do all the tasks that you have related to your data. And maybe you're asking some questions like, but I already know PowerBI, Data Factor, Data Activator, or Synapse Data Engineer, all these tools in Microsoft Fabric. Do I need to learn it again? Do I need to learn from the scratch, start over? No. Everything that you know about these apps you can use here in Microsoft Fabric, and Microsoft Fabric has more features, which is going to make your life easier. So to start, I'm going to open all these tools right now, and then we're going to see what kind of options do we have. I'm not going to create any project right now. I'm going to do it in the further videos. I'm going to create like Power BI reports. I'm going to create data factor workflows. I'm going to create Synapse Lakehouse. I'm going to create a lot of things. I'm going to use all the powerful tools that we have here available in Microsoft Fabric. If you'd like to follow along with me, you can just type in your browser app.fabric.microsoft.com, and then you're going to see the page like this. If you see some page asking you to subscribe or ask you to do some kind of tasks, which means that maybe the license for Microsoft Fabric is not allowed for your user, you can ask your tenant admin to add the license for you. Microsoft is offering a 60 days trial version of Microsoft Fabric, when you can just play along, do all your stuffs, and do all your POCs and see how powerful it is. So to start here, you have Microsoft Fabric. When you click here, you're going to have access to all these tools that you have available on Microsoft Fabric. I'm going to start with Data Engineer. In Data Engineer, you have Lakehouse, Notebooks, Environment, which is in preview, Spark Job Definition, Data Pipeline, Import Notebooks, and Use a Sample. Just to give you a hint, what is these features? Lakehouse, you're going to create your Lakehouse. Behind the scene, Microsoft, you're going to create not just a Lakehouse, but also a SQL Analytics endpoint. Then you have Notebooks. If you have been working with notebooks, you already know what is Notebook. It's a place where you can write your code in PySpark, SQL, R, and then you can just run that. The environment is the way that you can create different environments and put some configurations in place on that environment, which means that you can have different configurations for dev, QA, and production environment. Spark Job Definition is to run a batch process. So if you have a pipeline, if you have a Python job, and then you would like to run it in a batch process, you can use the Spark Job Definition. Data Pipeline, for who is familiar with Data Factor, Data Pipeline is the data factor here in Microsoft Fabric. Import Notebook, which means that if you have a notebook in your machine and you like to load it to Microsoft Fabric, you can just hit Import Notebook and go on. Use a Sample is Microsoft has provided some samples with the Data Engineer. So if you'd like to play with the samples first in your trial version, like to see how powerful it is, you can just play around with some samples, and then you can apply the same methodology or the same features, the same knowledge that you have obtained with that in your own jobs. Next, data science. We have machine learning models, which means that you can create your machine learning models. And then we have experiments where you can run your models. You can compare that runs, and then you can see which model is performing better. Notebooks, again, you can write your machine learning models using notebooks. Environment, the same principles, import notebook and use a sample. just continue. Data warehouse, if you'd like to use the same power that you have with SQL Server, you can create your data warehouse and then you can play around with data warehouse. We have samples warehouse as well, data pipeline, which is data factor, data flow gen 2, which is a new way to transform your data. You can use data flow gen 2. Is pretty similar with Power Query, which means that you can just click on some options, configure that options, and then you're gonna have all the steps that have applied to that data set. And then you can see, oh, this is good. And then you can push that data set, which is transformed, to some destination. Then we have Mirror Azure SQL Database, Mirror Snowflake, and Mirror Azure Cosmos DB. Real-time analytics, Microsoft brought to Microsoft Fabric custom query language database, which means that here you can create a custom query language database. All this stream data, real-time analytic data, you can store on custom query database. It's really powerful. You can query the data really quickly, and then you can use the same knowledge that you have with Azure Logic, playing with custom query language. Then we have custom query language query set, event stream, which means that you can just attach some event components, for example, IoT Hub, to get the data from that event streams, and then you can just query the data and put the data in some destinations, for example, custom query database. Event house, you can use unstructured and structured data in real time, and then you can query the data, and then after you query the data, you can push the data to somewhere else. So going to the top, in the top we have Power BI. You can connect to all your data that you have created before using data engineer, Synapse Analytics, and so on. And then you can right away create your reports, dashboards, collaborate. So the same experience that you have with Power BI services, you're gonna have here in Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft have introduced a new type of connection, which is Direct Lake in Power BI. And it brings the same performance or a similar performance that you have with loaded data, but you don't need to load the data to your reports, which means that your report is going to connect directly with your lakehouse, and then you're going to have the same performance as loaded data. Moving on, so here we have data factor, and like I said, when you see data pipeline, it means that you're going to get here where is the data factor. Now we have data flow gen 2, which is pretty similar to Power Query. If you are familiar with creating data sets in Power BI using Power Query, you're gonna see that is the same experience, but now it's not attached to Power BI. You can connect your data, you can transform your data, and then after that, you can just push the transformed data to some destination. But with the same powerful tool that you already know, where you can create the steps. Every time that you change the data, is going to create a new step. You can save that steps and apply that steps like automatically. Then we have Data Activator. Data Activator, it's a new product here in Microsoft Fabric. Data Activator, the main purpose is to monitor your data. And then if you have some outliers, if something is going on, you can just create some alerts and you can just send message or notification to someone else to see what is going on with your data. And then we have Index Solutions. Microsoft has provided some solutions for specific industries, for example, sustainability solutions, retail solutions, and healthcare, which means that when you open this, you're gonna have a lot of research, data, pipelines, machine learning models that you can play with, and then you can connect your data here and extract insights and so on with your data. So Microsoft is sharing all the knowledge about this industry. It's just creating a package and just deliver it to you, so you can use it here in Microsoft Fabric. To summarize, so Microsoft Fabric is the place where you're gonna do all your jobs related to data. If you are a data analyst, you can use Power BI on Microsoft Fabric. If you are a data engineer, you can use Lakehouse, you can use Data Warehouse here in Microsoft Fabric. If you are a data science, you can create your machine learning models, your experiments, do all your jobs, compare the machine learning models and see which one is performing better. If you'd like to monitor your data, you have Data Activator. If you are working with some specific industry and you'd like to see what Microsoft can offer for you, you can just go to Index Solutions and play around with some index solutions that Microsoft has provided to you. If you would like to work with real-time analytics, you can just go to Synapse Real-Time Analytics. So like I said, Microsoft Fabric is really powerful. You don't need to go anywhere else. You can do all your tasks or your job here in Microsoft Fabric. If you'd like to start with Microsoft Fabric, but you don't know how to start or where to go to start, I strongly recommend going to Get Started with Microsoft Fabric. It's a Microsoft Learning course. I'm gonna leave the link here in the video description, and then you can start your journey with Microsoft Fabric right now. In the next videos, I'm going to cover all these tools. I'm going to create some projects in these tools using Data Engineer, PowerBI, and so on. So if you'd like to receive notifications for the next videos, just subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, and stay tuned. See you in the next videos.